Welcome to Dilettante Ball. I'm Johnny.
I'm Spencer.
Here on Dilettante Ball, we go watch Star Wars!
And that's all we're going to do for this episode.
That's correct, because for Christmas, because this is our Christmas episode, this is our Star Wars holiday special.
Wow. Life Day. Happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day. It is hours before we're seeing Star Wars.
Right. When we record this.
Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
We went back in time. We're both 8 years old again, or whatever, 11.
When they re-released Phantom Menace in 3D,
oh god,
I saw it at midnight, and it was like, Did
you barf? Like, this is the worst.
No, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's good.
And one thing I'm really excited about, because we're seeing it in 3D, which I'm not super excited about that, but we'll get into that.
So today's the day that The Force Awakens comes out. It's Thursday.
Today is the day that The Force Awakens.
It's December 17th. We're recording on December 17th. It's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning.
I think it's like noon now.
It's noon. We've been talking about Star Wars for 2 hours.
That's not even an exaggeration.
So we're seeing it tonight for the first time
at 7 p.m.
Right.
So first and foremost, this episode will have spoilers.
Absolutely,
it will have spoilers. So
not yet, not at this point in the podcast, but later on.
We haven't seen it.
Right.
So I guess we can give another final spoiler warning.
Right.
But for right now, so with Phantom Menace, the 3D glasses had like Darth Maul
prints, the red and black tattoo things.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that there's something for this too.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
With big movies, a lot of times they'll make cool
fun
3D
little
glasses. Yeah.
And Disney would have for sure. If anyone would do it, Disney would do it. So we're going to be recording some pre Star Wars stuff now. We're going to be recording some stuff while we're waiting in line.
And then we'll regroup after. In the first 24 hours, I'll be seeing the movie 3 times.
Same here. I'm seeing it at least 3 times. Yeah.
I think you're just not seeing it in 24 hours. Though.
That's true. One of my tickets is for 11 o'clock. That's true. But I'm planning on seeing it multiple times before then.
So we'll regroup at some point and give some final thoughts.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna talk about much later on. We're gonna write down some predictions we have about what happened in the movie, and whether they happened or not.
For those of you that don't know, I have had a rough year because I have not seen anything about this movie. No trailers, no posters, no promotional pictures. The only things that I have seen have been basically things that I was unaware would be there, and they were just there, mostly store displays.
Right. So you just be walking through Target and all of a sudden see something.
Yeah.
Like Dairy Creamer.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff. Tons of stuff that has it's been rough. But anything that I've seen, I've immediately looked away, tried to block it out of my mind, and never examined anything. So I have only the very, very most basic knowledge of only a few things.
Yeah, you know very little. It's mostly just images. It's like 2 images you've seen. And it's like, okay, well, I'm fine. Do you want to talk about what you have seen?
Sure.
Okay.
So the things that I know: Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Chewbacca. And I assume R2-D2 and C-3PO, because duh.
Okay.
Will be returning.
Okay.
Oh yeah, don't confirm.
I'm not going to
deny
confirm or deny anything. Yeah.
I know that there is a snowman-shaped droid called BB-88, BB-8, or B-88. I think it's B-88.
Okay.
That just feels right in my heart.
B-88 is the one you think it is?
That's what I think it is. I know that there is a bad man, or woman, but probably a man, who uses a lightsaber that has hand guard type things.
Okay.
And he wears a shredder mask from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And his name is Krylo or Kylo.
Okay.
I know that there's a black stormtrooper, which people were upset about.
And you mean like African American?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I guess they weren't stormtroopers; they were TIE fighter pilots. But they wore black. But it'd be cool to have like an elite force of stormtroopers in black. Yes, but he
like
is
the SS.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, I mean, that fits in the mythology of
the person inside of the suit is a black man. And people said the movie was anti-white. I don't know if that was people being for real or not. I just knew that there was some talk about
people. It wasn't like
it
it was like literally it was like 2 guys like trying to troll people, and then 100 million people that took up the hashtag and were like, I can't believe this. So like the hashtag blew up because everyone was like an idiot. So yeah, no, it wasn't. It was never real.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there was, a bunch of dudes in the South who aren't.
Once the movie comes out, I'm sure, depending on how much screen time that character gets, it's like,
yeah,
stormtroopers are white,
right,
even though you
right.
never see a stormtrooper's face in any of the fucking movies.
That's true. Every stormtrooper could be black, for all we know.
Yeah. I mean, right? Even when they steal the armor from the dudes, you don't see them.
Never. Yeah.
There might not be anyone in there.
Yeah, they could just be like in haunted. Haunted
yeah, they're
armor.
like suits of armor.
Right.
Yeah. I know that the stormtrooper masks at least look a little different.
Okay.
That's about it.
That's pretty good. There's a bunch of stuff that you don't know, which is just like, now I'll tell you what I know. So I've seen the 3 trailers, and I'll just tell you, there's still a million things that you don't know just from the trailers, which means there's 10 million things that you don't know about the movie. So you're totally good.
I'm pretty excited.
Totally
excited. And there's a young woman in a tunic.
Sure.
for what that's worth. I wish I knew less, but I'm pretty pleased.
You know about as little as you were gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, there's the snowman robot is everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Snowman robot's like the Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, and Shredder is the new Darth Vader. He's replaced Darth Vader on all of the marketing.
Right. Yeah, it used to be when you would buy one of the action figures, it would have Darth Vader's helmet in the top left corner.
Yeah, now it's Shredder.
Right.
Which is crazy because he's not even in Star Wars.
It's a crazy crossover. What would you do if they crossed over Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Star Wars and had it in the very first new movie in 30 years, or whatever?
15 years?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be pretty cool.
But you, like, in the moment, you'd be like, what? This is crazy. And then later you'd be like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Cool. So you don't know much. I know slightly more than you, which obviously I won't mention.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, is there anything else that we need to?
I don't think so. We'll check back in line.
Yep.
And then we'll write down our predictions for the film, and after we see it, we'll see how close we were.
Yep. And we'll give our review, I guess.
Which
by that point, I'm sure you will have made up your mind if you want to see it or not, and if you.
Our review is gonna probably be, oh my god, it was awesome.
Right.
It doesn't feel real. I can't believe this is happening. I only slept about 2 hours last night, and it was very restless sleep. This is, and I feel really silly for how much this is like affecting me.
Right.
Because it's just a goofy space movie, but it's like, it's so important to me, and Star Wars is such a stupid, huge part of my life.
Right. Yeah, I don't remember a time when I wasn't into Star Wars.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy, and I just can't believe it's real. I can't believe it. We'll see you in line.
Yeah, see you in line.
Smell you in line.
Smell you in line.
We're speaking softly because
carrying big sticks.
We're in the theater. The movie's not playing. It's still cinema sounds, which is the pre-show music.
Right. It's still about another 2.5 hours before the movie starts.
But we're in. We've got primo seats.
Yep. And I've bought special edition 3D glasses, which I actually can't even show Johnny because they will spoil things for him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's how special edition they are.
It's crazy. They just have the open crawl written across the eyes.
Yeah, all the plot points are just right there. Yeah.
And we're just.
So far, nothing's been spoiled for you. No one's.
No. It's been pretty surprisingly.
Calm.
We waited in a very orderly line.
Yeah.
There are only 30 people in the theater
Maybe
right
30
now.
people, sure. And everyone's like real calm.
Yeah,
and
everyone's chill, and tons of people are just saving a ton of extra seats. It's nothing crazy.
It's great.
I think it's gonna be a good Star Wars.
I'm just so tired of all these Star Wars. I feel good about it.
I know, and these seats are very comfortable. They recline. I feel like I could get a nap in. I don't know if I said this earlier, but I was so anxious I did not sleep last night.
So you got maybe 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went and got margaritas and
we did the dinner.
Quesadillas.
We did the dinner for 2 for $35 at Chili's, and it was a bargain. It was great.
Then we split a cookie with ice cream.
A skillet. Cookie skillet.
So 2 hours of sleep and 3 or 4 margaritas. You're feeling not great.
No. So, I mean, do you have anything else to say?
No, not yet. We'll in the middle of the movie we'll probably record some more.
Yeah, sure. So I guess right now our review of Chili's is 5 stars.
Oh yeah, for sure. 1 star for each margarita we drank. All right.
Yeah.
We'll
Yep.
smell
you
you
after the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so hello, we're back in it. We have each seen the movie 3 times, I believe.
Yeah.
And let me be very clear right now. There will be spoilers. 100%.
Yeah.
Stop listening now.
Right.
If you have not seen the movie, we're gonna spoil the hell out of it.
Right. Definitely.
There's no 2 ways about it. We're just gonna talk about this Star War and every single thing. So. I'll give you 5 seconds to turn off this podcast before we start talking.
Kylo Ren kills his father, Han Solo.
Oh,
you were warned,
boy.
So, we've seen it 3 times each. I'm going straight from this recording to go see it a 4th time in IMAX.
And we've had a couple days to. It's Sunday now, so the first time we saw it was Thursday. Then we saw it twice on Friday. So
and we took Saturday off. We took Saturday off, but we still managed to find time to talk about it for 3 hours or 4 hours.
Yeah. And I think it's safe to say that we both hated it.
Yeah, it was garbage. Really though, we each agree it's definitely top 3 best Star Wars ever.
Which really isn't that great.
Well, yeah, when you can basically discount 3 of them right off the bat.
Well, also just like, yeah, out of 7 movies, it's one of the 3 best.
Well, 3 feels safe because that way no one's going to argue with me.
Right.
Because when I actually say that it might be the best one, then people are going to be like, oh, what about Empire? And it's like, okay, can we be realistic here, guys? It might be the best one. It's crazy. I don't know.
I know. I feel like I won't know if it's the best one until
8 and 9 come out.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because I need to know how much was like set up. You know, like how much is. But as a standalone movie, it was like
it's really
fucking
good.
Dope.
Yeah. Like, yeah, even if you've never seen a Star Wars movie, I feel like it's still a pretty just good movie.
Yeah. So we said we were going to say our predictions.
Right.
So do you want to go first?
Well, so one thing
I think we both had pretty like 3 or 4 bullet points of just like broad predictions. Nothing crazy.
No, not at all. One specific thing I wanted to be answered because it's one thing I noticed because I watched the trailers and you hadn't.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, I realized that Kylo Ren's lightsaber is not a typical lightsaber. It's like jaggedy and like a lot more electrical. And so I kind of wanted that to be answered, like why that was, which didn't happen in the movie, but apparently there's supplemental material.
I believe, yeah. So there are books and stuff that I haven't read because I've been out of it.
Right.
But apparently the kyber crystal inside his lightsaber is cracked, which is pretty cool. And I feel like that's not something we'll ever talk about in the movie.
No, probably not.
Like,
Yeah, it's pretty.
This crazy thing.
It's minutia that only like people like us would care about. Yeah.
So what were your predictions for the plot?
So I don't know if I may have even said it on the podcast, but a while ago. No, I probably didn't because I probably didn't want to spoil it for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I said I wanted Han and Leia and Luke, all those people. I only wanted them to be in the movie for like 15 minutes and then go away. That's what I wanted originally.
I feel like a year and a half ago, we talked about that.
Okay, when we just heard about the casting. Or whatever.
And it was like, I think we both said the same thing. We just want to be in a little bit and pass the torch.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I wanted was for, so I thought Rey would be his daughter, and I thought that he would die in some crazy heroic space battle, and she would take over the reins from him and fly the Millennium Falcon. That more or less is what happened, other than she's not his daughter.
And it wasn't a space battle.
No, it wasn't. It was just a war in the stars.
Yes.
So it's kind of close.
I thought that the main villain. So I didn't know anyone.
Yeah,
so this was just super broad. Like, what could happen in a Star War?
Right.
I thought that the new bad guy would be maybe a former Inquisitor, but they definitely wouldn't talk about that in the movie. It would just.
We would know it's an Inquisitor, but they wouldn't say that word.
Right, because that'd be weird for anyone that's not a nerd.
Right.
And I thought that Luke would be training new Jedi, which...
I thought the same thing. I thought he would start a temple or whatever.
Yeah, which I guess he kind of did, but didn't.
Right, it happened before we saw the movie. Or, in between 6 and 7, I guess. Right. Yeah, that was also one of my predictions. It seemed like pretty obvious that might happen.
Right. I thought I thought Leia would be using the Force more than just being sort of aware of it.
Right.
But I did assume that she would be either a general or have some sort of political role.
Right. And you and I talked a little bit after the movie that it is possible that maybe she did start to do a little Jedi training, depending on the timeline. And when her son turned to the dark side, maybe she quit her training.
Yeah,
that's a
she's like,
possibility.
I can't handle this.
Right. So we're not 100% on that.
And I feel like a year and a half ago on this podcast, we both said Han Solo should die.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, he should have.
Yeah, and it was great.
Yeah.
So those were broad predictions that were fairly close,
Yeah,
I guess.
Pretty close enough. Yeah. I was overall pretty happy with the movie. I mean,
yeah, I loved
pretty
it.
happy
I
is like
loved
a huge understatement. Everything they brought back, all the people they brought back were awesome. Chewbacca's never been so good. 3PO was exactly what he's always been.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, ruining moments for everybody, but that's what he's supposed to do.
I feel like they just like doubled down. They were like,
they really did.
we know we get C3PO more than anyone ever has.
Yeah.
And this is him.
Admiral Akbar looked awesome.
He aged well.
He really did, yeah.
I mean, I think he might have gotten some work done, but
Nian Nub was there. One of my
your boy.
I love Nian Nub. He's funny to me. He's just having a
he's
having a grand old time.
So crazy.
Is that everybody they brought back? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Leia was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford was surprisingly good.
Surprisingly,
I was
good.
expecting him to just be like, all right, let's get this over with.
Right.
But he like kind of carried the movie.
Yeah, really did. Yeah.
And it was great.
I didn't expect that.
And everyone knew is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, everyone knew it was insane. John Boyega crushed it. Daisy Ridley crushed it. What's the name?
BB-8.
BB-8 for real though.
it.
BB-8 crushed it. Who was? What'd you say? He voice consulted by
Bill Hader and Ben Schwartz.
Yeah. Well, so that's pretty awesome. That explains why he was such a good character.
Yeah.
No, who played Poe Dameron? Oscar Isaacs.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Adam Driver.
Real surprisingly awesome.
Fucking the best.
Yeah. I'm seeing some people that aren't fully getting the story or things like.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, speaking of Adam Driver, someone was
You
saying
talked to him?
Yeah.
I don't really know what I was doing in this movie.
I thought it was a girls' audition.
Even though I'm already on the show.
Yeah. I thought it was weird they had me audition again. Someone was saying like, "Oh, I hated it when he took his mask off," and I was like,
so then you don't get it.
Yeah.
So you don't get this fucking movie.
Right. Yeah.
So then you haven't seen this movie 3 times.
Right. Oh, I hate that they hit like similar beats to A New Hope, like that kind of. It's like that was supposed to happen. It's
like poetry. They rhyme, but also that's just what a fucking Star Wars is. It's
right.
There's not supposed to be anything new in Star Wars. Well, you know, basically.
Essentially, right. Here's the 8 things we're gonna do every time.
Yeah.
Right.
My biggest complaint with the movie. This is going to be just trash to listen to. Just us like, oh, what about this? What about this? Who cares? My biggest complaint was, and 2 days ago when I guess a week ago when I watched Return of the Jedi again,
Yeah.
I like messaged you and I was like, man, Return of the Jedi, which was already not my favorite.
Right.
I was like, it's pretty lame that at the end it's just a bigger Death Star. And then this fucking movie comes out 2 days later and it's a bigger Death Star.
The biggest Death Star. Yeah, and even Han is like, I don't know, there's probably some way to blow it up. There's always a way to blow it up.
Yeah.
Like, how many fucking things are we going to blow up?
And then they pull it up on the screen. It's like, someone's like, oh, so it's another Death Star. And another dude's like, I wish
it was.
This is the Death Star. This is Starkiller Base. And it's like a billion times bigger.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were almost
I mean, even the way they destroyed it was like, all right, how are we going to destroy it?
Oh, same.
We're going to go to Endor, disable the shield base. We're going to hang out in space, and then when it's disabled, we'll blow it up. Sounds good.
So I'm hoping that they did that on very much on purpose, and we're like, get it?
What if they do it in 8 and 9? Like it's just more and more
Death Stars.
Yeah, that wasn't great, and especially when they show the picture of it, someone I feel like it's someone we hadn't seen before. All of a sudden, has their first line in the movie, and it's like, a base that big must have a thermal oscillator.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Why do you know that? What is a thermal oscillator? Yeah. So. Yeah, a little.
Pretty cool though that it's built into a dang planet.
Yeah, that is cool.
I mean, and when it just looked very much like a Halo to me.
Yeah,
like the whole idea where it's like, I don't know, it just was.
Oh, it's like a planet, or we're all living on it. No, it's a weapon of mass destruction.
Right.
Like they glossed over a couple things like the how the Republic relates to the Resistance, relates to the New Order, which we were able to figure out more or less.
It seems like this is what I gather.
Yeah.
The Republic is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Resistance is sort of attached to the Republic, backed by the Republic,
Right.
but not necessarily part of their official military.
Right.
It's like
So-
because they even say, without the Republic forces, we won't be able to do
Right.
this or whatever.
So the way I see it is, do you remember? You remember in episode 2,
which one?
Attack of the Clones, where
I don't.
the Senate is like pretty hesitant to do anything military, and then all of a sudden we got a huge clone army, and then guess what? That tore the universe apart.
Mm-hmm.
So now the Republic's back, and they're like, yeah, look, we need a military arm, but we're gonna kind of keep on the down low.
For sure.
So can you guys like hook it up? It's exactly what that is.
Yeah. So they're
just it's the military arm of the Senate,
mm-hmm.
and then the New Order is just like,
just crazy dudes.
yeah, just crazy dudes. Yeah.
I feel like the Republic has an official army too, though.
You think?
Because they say
Like peacekeeping, like UN troops, maybe.
They specifically say because the whole Republic gets blown up.
Right. Yeah. Which is insane.
And they're like, without the Republic forces, we won't be able to
Okay.
do this.
Sure. Okay.
Or
I
whatever.
gotcha.
So I think that they're maybe an elite, partially secret.
That makes sense.
Or
Yeah,
you
sure.
know, like
Strike forces.
yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
Let's do some episode 8 predictions.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh, I read a cool thing. Someone was like, this is the first time that a Star Wars, the episode number has corresponded to the number actual release.
It's the 7th movie and it's episode 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
pretty cool.
That's good. Episode 8 predictions. Well, I mean, so I was
I
thinking.
think Kylo Ren's going to be Han Solo's son.
We were kind of talking about this. Like, what if Rey? So Rey seems to be the most powerful Jedi ever,
Yeah.
right? What if she ends up becoming evil in episode 8?
I wouldn't be surprised if she gets tempted.
Yeah. So that's a pretty big possibility. And you were saying, what if Kylo Ren succumbs to the light side? And what if Rey and Kylo Ren sort of switch places?
That'd be pretty
She
rad.
becomes the bad guy, he becomes a good guy, and it's a redemption story.
I know in the end, no matter what, Kylo Ren is going to turn good because
That's just how Star Wars works.
well, but also, he says when he's talking to Darth Vader's head,
right.
he's like, he idolizes Darth Vader, and he's like, I want to finish what you started, or
Right.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he will, but he doesn't realize what he means yet. Because
Right.
he, in his head, Darth Vader is like the ultimate bad dude,
Right.
The ultimate bad bitch.
The
And-
same way Rey has all these myths in her head about Luke Skywalker, he
Right.
has myths about Darth Vader.
So I don't think he knows that Darth Vader turned good in the end, but I think that in the end he will fulfill exactly what happened to Darth Vader,
Right.
And
So he'll think he's failing the mission by turning good, but
yeah, but
he actually will complete the mission by turning
yeah.
good. We were talking Finn gets pretty jacked up in that lightsaber fight.
Yeah.
Maybe has a spine like ripped
I
open.
mean the lightsaber sliced up
Yeah.
his dang back.
So we were saying maybe if he sort of has like an exoskeleton or something and becomes like the good version of Darth Vader.
which would be pretty rad.
Pretty rad, yeah.
I feel like Rey is probably Luke's daughter.
Seems pretty likely.
and
So the big question then is,
who's his mom?
right.
I don't know. My only crazy guess is Captain Phasma for no real reason
Well,
other than they
who
both
else
have
could it
British
be?
accents.
I mean, at this point, like, yeah, it would have to be. Well, I mean, it could be a million other people, but if they introduce a new person in 8, it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's going to be the
Yeah.
mom because it couldn't be anyone else.
It's interesting that she has a British accent, Rey.
Right. Yeah.
That's a very conscious decision, and it must mean something. I don't know what yet.
right because John Boyega, the actor, is English and spoke with an American accent.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And she's like growing up on this
Outer world or outer rim.
Yeah, so she would have an American accent.
Right. That's a good observation that you probably are the only person that's picked up on that I know of in my friend group.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I'm excited to see more about Maz. She seems real
Pretty
cool
intriguing.
and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like in this movie there's a lot of like more gray area with the Force.
Definitely.
And people who don't, because Maz says she's not a Jedi, but she knows the Force.
Right.
So
And Kylo Ren and Snoke never say they're Sith.
Yeah, they're just bad.
Right. They just use red lightsabers. Yeah, and in that crazy flashback thing that Rey goes through with the Knights of Ren, none of them have lightsabers. It's just Kylo Ren. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume we'll learn more about that. We might see the actual Knights of Ren maybe in episode 8.
I feel like we will. I want to know who Dr. Oldman at the beginning is, who gives
Max
the
von
map
Sydow's
to
character.
Yeah.
He obviously has some sort of connection with the Force, but isn't a Jedi.
And he also, I mean, he's like old buds because he's when Poe says something about, oh, I got to give this to the general. He's like, oh, she's royalty to me. Like,
Right.
Woo.
Yeah, and when Kylo Ren shows up, he's like, do you know why I came here? And he's like, no, but I know where you came. I know where you came from.
Yeah. There's
you didn't start out that way.
there.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. I assume we'll see more of Captain Phasma kicking ass.
I hope so.
Yeah. Is it possible she becomes good? She defects to the good side?
No.
I don't know, man. Who knows?
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
Do you think Finn can use the Force?
Hard to say. It's pretty hard to say. It feels like they led us to believe he could, because he gets the lightsaber first. So as far as like the storytelling goes, it would make sense if he is some sort of Jedi or Force sensitive.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought for sure he could the first time I watched it, and the second and third times I thought less that he could.
Yeah, especially with how much Rey uses it and he uses it never. So yeah, I don't know. That's very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything? I mean, we could talk about this for hours and hours.
I know. Yeah. I'm trying hard to make this as interesting as possible.
Obviously, one of the big questions is, who is Snoke? Is he actually what he appears to be, or is he someone in disguise? Since it's a hologram, it might not even necessarily look like that. He might be,
What if I just thought of this? What if it's like? Oh shit. I just thought of this too. So first I was going to say, what if it's just something that like the Emperor like recorded,
like an AI?
Yeah, but then I was like, well, what if it's just like straight up a droid that the Emperor made to carry on his bidding? That'd be stupid. But
well, the Emperor is smart enough that he might do something like that. Like he was able to predict everything else, so he probably was like, well, I'm probably gonna get killed anyway. So if that happens,
I mean, I know in some books he made clones of himself and stuff, which I don't want because that'd be bonkers.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think we should probably wrap it up, I guess.
Yeah. So do yourself a favor, go see it more.
Yeah,
because it's good.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
It's got everything I wanted.
Stars and wars, sometimes both.
Oh, I will say I was really surprised that Luke Skywalker was basically not in it.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised,
and
because I expected it to be, the first act would be finding Luke, and the second act would be him training somebody, or,
And when Rey and Chewbacca and R2-D2 leave to go find him, I was like, cool, we'll get at least 20 minutes of them doing stuff before the movie's over, and then just end it. And I was like,
yeah, it was a crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah. And they're on a cliff.
Yeah, they are. That's hey, it's poetry.
Smell you later. That was precious.
Thanks.
This has been a Peaches and Hot Sauce presentation.
Peaches. Hot sauce. 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 Got your peaches.